Yo, what is up guys? Special video coming at you today. As you can see before you, I've got both MDLX Optimus and Bumblebee from this new line out of ThreeZero Toys, of course. And I'm going to be taking a look at both of these guys. Both videos will be out at the same time, but on this video, we're going to be focusing on this guy right here. Now, taking a look at the packaging for this really nice looking ThreeZero Bumblebee. These are, of course, to give you a little bit of a background, these are G1 design inspired, kind of an artistic rendition inspired based on the original G1 designs of these Transformers. They have released, I believe, Optimus, Bumblebee, and Megatron, as well as Megatron is just about to come out and Rodimus Prime has come out, or Hot Rod has come out. But this is Bumblebee. I believe it was the first of their release. It is from ThreeZero, which is officially partnered with Hasbro and Transformers. As you can see there, we have both the ThreeZero and Transformers Generations logo. Real nice kind of art rendition of Bumblebee there. On the side, a really beautiful kind of full body shot of Bumblebee there with a nice name going down the side. And on the back, real cool close-up shots of his battle mask, kind of some action poses, Autobot logo, and just some more information there. On the opposite side, just another nice little graphic. But with that being said, let's get this guy out of the box, see how cool he really is. And here is MDLX Bumblebee in all his glory. And I do have to say, for being such a remarkably small figure, they did not cut any corners with the detail on this guy. And so just bringing him up close for a closer look at that head sculpt right off the bat, I really do like this head sculpt. Now, while I will say, they do have an MDLX cliff jumper coming out very soon, and I do have to say, looking at the head sculpt on that cliff jumper, I actually think they could have swapped this head sculpt with the head sculpt they have for cliff jumper, as I think this head looks a bit more like the cliff jumper with the horns, whereas the cliff jumper coming out has more of the less, I would say, aggressive spikes coming out of the sides of his head, mimicking the more classic Bumblebee. But with that being said, by no means do I dislike this at all. I really do like this head sculpt. Again, it has that really nice kind of Carolina blue color for the eyes that we saw on the MDLX Optimus. But looking in close at the details here, you can see the head does have, of course, a full 360 rotation. You can tilt it side to side. You can look up and down. It's got plenty of rotation in there. Very nicely detailed around kind of the neck cavity around him. Kind of just darker silvers, grays, and blacks in there. But looking at the head sculpt specifically, if I could only get it to focus there, it has plenty of detail in there in the face and the facial structure itself, with that really nice silvery chrome color, with more of the yellow muted accents around the outside going into the crest of the head. Somewhat of a similar head crest shape to the Optimus figure we saw, the MDLX. That upload is out at the exact same time of this one if you wanted to check it out. But when it comes to head sculpt, I really do like this Bumblebee. Even going into the back, plenty of detail back there, down from the bottom portions of the head all the way to the top. Just really nice sculpting detail and nice paint applications, especially on those horns. Those horns, they could have just painted them all with that chrome silver, but even the horns have really acute details in them. But just backing this guy up a little bit, I'm gonna just handle him because he's so small. I really love these feet, specifically because you really just can completely make out the vehicle mode. And these tires in here, of course, they actually do have a bit of rotation to them. I wouldn't recommend spinning them, but you can actually rotate these tires in the feet. I love this foot design. I love how much of the car you can actually see on this guy. Even going into the back, you can obviously make out the tire there, or the tire storage there. And even in the front, you can make out how this is like the roof of the car with the windows and all that. I really love this Bumblebee figure, and I think it's perfect because it is the really small scale Bumblebee that he should be. Bumblebee is a really small figure in G1, and of course he is in the Bay movies and all that as well, but I think this really does a great job in representing just how small he is without having to force him into a highly detailed core class figure. Now, focusing in on that blaster there, again, it is kind of a mix of that gunmetal gray with with the speckled silver, similar to how Optimus's gun was. Now, I really like it. I really love how they painted these guns. Could it, and I mean, I've seen people complaining about the paint applications on these, but I really don't see those as legitimate criticism. I really think that these guns are terrifically painted to match the figures themselves. Now, the shoulders, just like Optimus, this is on a separate little rotation where you can flip the shoulders up to allow you to get better rotation on the arms itself. Now, the arms, of course, you get full rotation at the elbow. The hands, of course, can rotate however you want. The shoulders can go however you want. That's another terrific ball joint in there, a kind of double jointed ball joint peg in there. Same way they had Optimus's shoulders. And then going down to more of the thigh waist area, this is all, those two sides are adjustable, as you can see there, but the front is much more of a static piece, and these back pieces are much more static pieces than Optimus, where his entire waist kind of belt line area was all adjustable. Now, that does not at all take away from Bumblebee's, okay, wait, this all does move. All right, so I was a little confused at first because it was tucked in, but no, this does as well move the same way as Prime's does, allowing the full kind of rotation of the legs outwards. And I would assume it's on a similar, yep, it is on a similar kind of double joint with the leg down here as the arm, where you can kind of like shift the entire leg down like that, as you can see. Shift it down, just kind of get more posability in there, but you kind of just push it right back up into place there, and you can push these corners of the waist down to cover up as such. But all the way down here at the knee does not rotate left and right, but you can obviously get really good motion forward and back there. It does bend all the way backwards, allowing you to get some real nice poses in there with him. And I mean, look at the detailing on the legs just overall. All the way at the bottom, you got plenty of detail from bottom to top. Nice red applications in there, just adding just even more color detailing to the yellow and the silvers and the grays. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that really brilliantly red Autobot logo in the center of the chest here. But overall, I mean, as I'm just handling this figure, you can just see all of the aspects of the inner detail, even the underarms. There's not a spot on this figure where there isn't some aspect of detail. And I think it really is just terrific. This is a fantastically detailed figure for the size that it's at. This is a extremely small figure, as you can see, fits within the palm of my hand. I mean, this guy is minute, but he is packed with details. And as you can see, you can literally like slide this guy into numerous positions. You can position him in numerous ways. He will balance on these leg pieces, of course, just like that. He balances terrifically, and it's a great figure to pose, just to have alone. It is a great Bumblebee figure. The head, though, I mean, that's the one thing that really stands out to me as being more of a cliff jumper-like head. But again, these are the artist renditions of the G1 inspired, and I can 100% see, obviously, how this is a Bumblebee head and all that stuff. But I would love to see Cliff Jumper alongside him, as that guy's coming out very soon. I hope to get my hands on him very soon. But moving away from Bumblebee himself at the moment, I want to look at the accessories. Now, in Optimus's video, I put the accessories in the beginning because Optimus has like 12 different hand options, and he's got 2 weapons, he's got a backpack and all that. Meanwhile, Bumblebee over here does come with an alternate head. I'll rotate that on in just a moment. But he does come with a bunch of these little hand pieces. He obviously comes with 2 fists and an open hand, just a bunch. I'll just pan this down. So he comes with an open hand, like he's running. That's the one I have in his left hand at the moment. You've got another kind of grip in his opposite hand to hold the weapon. You got a fist and a fist. Pretty simple for that. But this other head sculpt, I will pop that in right now just to show you how to do that. And you really do just kind of grab at the head and pull straight back, and he'll pop right off. The heads have the joint to peg in on them, so I do think that makes it a little bit easier. But literally, you just take the opposite head, the battle mask head, and you kind of line that up there, and pop it right on, and you'll feel the snap, and it's in there just as tight as the other one. The neck has, and I didn't mention earlier, as you can see there, the neck is on a rotation as well, just like Optimus, apart from the head. So you can rotate the head and the neck opposite. But this is a beautiful battle mask on Bumblebee, I have to say. Really big fan of this battle mask, how it's kind of just like the visor that completely covers across. And man, I think I might actually display him like this. This is super cool and a really, really good looking battle mask Bumblebee. I mean, it's the same head sculpt other than the visor itself and the mouth being covered with somewhat of an Optimus Prime reminiscent face mask, but honestly, a beautiful looking Bumblebee. And here's just yet another example, just showing off the range that this figure can pose with. I mean, he balances extremely well, and that is probably large in part to the width of the feet themselves, but again, I think it's brilliantly designed where you do have those two very distinctive sides of the I guess you assume in Volkswagen Beetle-esque car, whether it be that exact or not, but this figure balances great and looks great no matter how you pose them. Now, also just to bring in a couple fellow Bumblebees for comparison here, we have from left to right, obviously, Studio Series Clunker Bumblebee, and this came in a Buzzworthy Bumblebee 2-pack. It is a Studio Series. Came with, of course, the Clunker Bumblebee and Barricade. In the middle, we have the MDLX figure, and on the right, honestly have no idea. I forget what line this is from. I believe it's also a deluxe, even though he looks like a core class. It is, I'm just gonna guess it's the maybe it's part of the Siege line, but I believe it was another Buzzworthy Bumblebee. Maybe it's a representation of the Siege Bumblebee. Honestly, just slipping my memory right now. I never did a review on that guy. But as you can see, this Bumblebee is a little bit bigger than the other two, and still he comes across as a super small figure because he is super compact, super neat, and of course that is aided by the fact that he doesn't transform, but Bumblebee looks great in all his iterations. And here's the moment many people have been waiting for, just to see how exactly Optimus and Bumblebee scale alongside each other. And I mean, as you can see here, they really do look terrific together. I think this is a great scale I mean, I can't say it better. This is a great scale, accurate to how the G1 representation would have been. Bumblebee is small, but not too small. Comes up right about to Prime's waistline, right where he should. And I mean, this is a great line. This is a great start to their line. I know that this has been out for a little while now, but this is two really, really solid pieces, and they really do look fantastic together. All in all, much akin to the fellow MDLX Optimus Prime release, I have nothing negative to say about this guy. And while I do admit now, thinking back to the way I was phrasing it before, I don't have any issues with the head crest. I actually, funnily enough, one of my lock screens looks just like this guy, but the instead of having the pointed silver horns, it's more of the yellow horns. But as I said about Optimus, the uncertainties I have with this figure, once I got it in hand, that kind of just faded away, and it really has grown on me the more that I've kind of handled it and posed it around. And the figure, it's simple as that. He's really grown on me, and I really cannot wait to get that cliff jumper, just to pair the two next to each other, as I feel like we've never really gotten a really high quality cliff jumper Bumblebee pair like what these ThreeZero MDLX figures will be presenting us. But on the flip side of things, there is rumors of a Starscream MDLX coming out soon. Megatron is en route. I have that guy on the way, thankfully. Megatron is dropping very soon. And I'm really just looking forward to see what else ThreeZero does with these MDLX figures, because ThreeZero really does make some of the best Transformers models. It's just limited with the amount of people that can get them, because they really are just ridiculously expensive, as they really have just been focusing on the large-scale figures. So I really do think these MDLX figures are really a step in the right direction in terms of really good quality, not too expensive, and a very small quantity. So again, Nothing negative to say about this guy. I would 100% recommend picking him up now while you can, as I really can't predict the future with these guys. Once they're gone, they may be gone, and the price is going to keep going up. So if you can grab this guy and you want to, I would recommend heading to Big Bad Toy Store, Icon Store, or Shozy Store. The links will all be down below in the description, or of course you can go to the official ThreeZero store. But that's all I have to say about Bumblebee here. Let me know what you thought about my opinions, likes, dislikes. Let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, peace.